Lumos. Yes, that's right. Twice. Talked about Harry Potter twice. I'm going to come in with the same lame joke. Nick, James here for Gluttons for Geekdom Live. Today, if you hadn't figured it out by the awesome wand joke, we're going to be doing Harry Potter again. Today I wanted to dive in. First one, we kind of tried to go through a little bit of the Sorcerer's Stone. That's right. Let's get on up there. Chamber of Secrets. Fawkes, really awesome looking there right on top. I remember when this came out, I was just like, oh, this is going to be great. I mean, what a great cover. These are the ones, if you have different covers, that's definitely something that I wanted to get going in on the comments, because I love looking at the variant covers, especially from the ones overseas. In America, I believe that this is the most popular one, and it's just so well designed. You know, you get the Chamber of Secrets, you got all the snakes flowing around, Fawkes really big, and you're just like, this one's going to be freaking epic. Now, personally, though, big loud noise. Not that loud, paperback. I don't really 100% love this book. In terms of the 7, it's not my favorite. It's at the bottom. It doesn't mean that I don't like it. I just don't love it. That's fine. You know, we could just be friends. I can love the other ones. It's just, it seems like, but the Dursleys don't know I can't do magic. And all of a sudden I'm having a horrible, and then like it just seems like the first and second book were just too much the same for me personally. You know, it just, the story doesn't go. So let's go through it and I'll explain what I self mean. Again, if you want to discuss, if you want to talk, comments. Dobby is the first case of something awesome and different that we get in it. Dobby the house elf, who, as if you read it, you'll learn to love even more and more. House elves is something that gets brought up in the movies, so I'm going to try to go back and forth with the book. If you know Hermione, how do you pronounce it? Comments. Has this thing for house elves, because one of the big questions that I know some of the movie watchers have is when the food comes, like, where does it come from? It's house elves in the kitchens right underneath the Hogwarts tables. Like, in the book they describe it that the kitchen has 4 long tables that would coincide with the 4 tables up above, and it doesn't actually just apparate or appear out of, or it doesn't materialize out of anywhere, it just literally floats up. So, that's pretty cool, but all the house elves are run. If you know Hermione's first question, or second question, no, the first question was for variant art, but the first live question I want to get to is, what is the name of Hermione's group to fight for the equal rights of house elves? I know that it doesn't come into a little bit later, it's not brought up in the second book, but since we're going to talk about Dobby, I want to get some live questions going. Dobby's great. He comes in and he puts an elf pudding. Well, he's an elf. It's not elf pudding, it's regular pudding on their head. It's awesome, and he appears during the book, and as we learn during the book, he is Lucius Malfoy's, Draco Malfoy's father. He's the Malfoy's house elf, and they treat him like the way house elves were treated in the days of Lord Voldemort. You know, I am still treated like scum, and every time he talks illy about it, he has to go and harm himself. So, like, he'll pick something up and hurt himself. And you feel just horrible for him the whole time, because he's like the beaten dog almost, you know, just the heart of gold, who these people just feel like they could treat badly because he's not a person. You know, that's the pure blood mentality of some, not all in the book, but the Malfoys suck. They're ass people. They're not nice people. At the end, if you haven't read the book, you know, what are you doing watching this? Harry takes off his sock, puts it in the diary, and it's a big kind of like stick it to Mr. Malfoy, because they know Tom Riddle's diary was slipped in by him. And he gets a sock and Dobby is free, and that's a big thing for him for the whole book, you know. And if you know what I'm talking about all the way at the very end, again, if you don't, why are you watching this? When he's dying, you know, Dobby was a free elf, and what a beautiful place with friends. And the character just sticks with you and is one of those things that makes the wonderful wizarding world of Harry Potter lasting, is because you think about Dobby. You do. You know, it was like losing a friend too. The next awesome thing that comes into this book that's different, and it kind of is a continuation up almost through the series, is the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and that's played by Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart, or it's filled by Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart, who's played by Kenneth Braun. I'm not 100% sure. This is great, alright? Are you guys ready for, if you're Gluttons for Geekdom, you know that we go through comic books too. Thor. The movie Thor, the original one with Chris Hemsworth, was directed by the same guy who played Gilderoy Lockhart. Either that, or he just, like, you know, went up to him behind his back and obliviate, and boom, you know, that's why. But I don't think so, because this isn't Harry Potter. But he directed Thor. It's just, he's such a weird character, and he's very pompous and very all about him. And we'll learn, the Obliviate joke, if you're not aware, he doesn't do anything. He just takes people's memories, and he's like, no, I did that. And he's just hard to stomach. I just went through the book again. You saw the copy there, but I've been enjoying Audible. Anybody really keeping up with this whole thing knows that I have a long commute to try to get back and forth to where I moved from, so it's like 5 hours just ripping through Audible. And my copies are the one read by Jim Dale. Does a great job. We talked about on the first episode the British Fry, I believe, who does it. If you like his comment. It's just so weird. And then another thing, you're like, all right, I can see that. Cinderella. If you saw the latest Disney live-action Cinderella, again, that's Kenneth Branagh. It's very strange that Gilderoy Lockhart did that. But he does a great job in the movie. I mean, Jim Dale reading it sounds as if he was doing a Kenneth Branagh impression, almost, or life imitating art. I'm not saying he did it better or tried or blah, blah, blah. Not saying any of that. It just seems like Joe, J.K., even wrote the character just so well that it's anybody's interpretation would seem similar. Harry Potter 2, Chamber of Secrets, again, is directed by Chris Columbus, and unfortunately it's where we get a little bit sad, but I wanted to give respect. Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore in the first one, plays Dumbledore in this one, would not go on to do it in 3 through 7 because he had passed, and, rest in peace, sir, did a great job. I did hear that he took the job not because he was like, yeah, I want to play Dumbledore. His granddaughter says, Grandpa, if you don't take this job, I'm never going to talk to you again. So he's like, all right, I'll do it. Something missed in the film that I really like about the book. I only wanted to bring up one. Again, I want to get a conversation going. So what did you miss from the book that wasn't in the movie? Mine was the Death Day party. For those uninitiated into the books, I saw something great. It was explaining how to tell people in the real world about the Harry Potter world. So there are purebloods. That's people who read the books and watched the movies. There are muggles who have only watched the movies. There are half-bloods who have only read the books, not seen the movies. It was long, but it was pretty funny. Death Eaters are people, purebloods, who are like, what do you mean you've never read the books? The whole thing was pretty great. But Sir Nicholas, nearly headless Nick, is nearly headless, so he wants to join the headless hunt, and they won't let him, and it's this whole thing in the book. Go ahead and go through it and read. But a Death Day party is a party for ghosts, and it sounds kind of gross because what do ghosts eat? It was all rotten and weird food there, so it was kind of weird, but it was fun to read, and that was one of the first times he actually heard the basilisk, and they changed it up in the movie. But that's something I missed. What did you miss about that? Last thing I wanted to, 2 last things, so really quick. Moaning Myrtle. That actress, whose name is off the top of my head, was 37 years old when she portrayed that 13-year-old, 12-year-old or 13-year-old girl. I think she is the biggest, or has the longest time gap of an actress's actual age compared to the age that they're portraying. I know one of the Glee kids was in there. I mean, John Travolta for playing Danny Zuko's got to be in there. But 37 years old playing a 13-year-old, that's pretty awesome. And she goes on to continue to play it and just does it perfectly. This is something that I think, again, it must be Jay, because Jim Dale, again, oh, I was just sitting in the bathroom, oh, like, it's better than that, trust me. But it's amazing. Last time I talked about, if you don't know, go to pottermore.com, and you can find out your house, yeah, that's all I guess I wanted to say. Mine is Gryffindor. Like I said, I want it to be a Hufflepuff. I feel like a Hufflepuff in my bones, but I answered all the questions as if I was. So I guess I'm a Gryffindor. I'm fine with that too. I would have been fine with anything it given me, but I was really hoping for Hufflepuff. So today I'm going to go through. I figured out what it is, and it's Expecto Patronum, a kingfisher. If you don't know what a kingfisher is, it's a bird, and it does exactly what it's a bird that eats fish, and it's really good at it. Normally about yay big, so that's kind of like, I was kind of, something bigger would have been awesome. I don't get Hermione as an otter. I think Ron has a Jack Russell Terrier. These are all small things, but like a stag and stuff, as he took out the Dementor, boom, and hitting him, like, what would a kingfisher really do? It's just going to, like, so that's kind of cool. I get it's the power behind the memory that gives the Patronus. I understand that. But still, I'm going to let you know my wand next time, which sounds weird. Wand. I won't go there. This one, if you're wondering, though, it's not just a stick. It's official. It comes with its own Ollivander's box. It's from the Noble collection. This one happens to be Sirius's. You could just tell, let everybody see the detail and wonder on that. It's great. I mean, it feels like you're doing something. If you don't know, they sell them on Amazon, the Noble collection. They sell a lot of stuff. I have a Green Lantern ring from them as well. Show you really quick. Maybe we'll do him tomorrow then. I am wearing green. Look at that. Look at that. They do great work. Look them up. The reason I got Sirius Black is when my nephew was born, I was named the Godfather. So his first piece of memorabilia is Harry Potter's wand. And I have Sirius Black's. And it's a little gay, but it's kind of awesome. Thank you very much tuning in for Gluttons for Geekdom Live. I didn't forget Spirit Fingers. Join us back here every day at 4:30. If you see I missed Monday, I'm going to take Sunday, Monday off. We're going to do it 5 days a week. Saturday is going to be special cartoon day. So what was your favorite morning cartoon to wake up to? But now that I think about it, we're going to take a break from that because this Saturday is Christmas Eve. I'm going to tell you all my favorite Christmas movies. In the meantime, Nick James, Gluttons for Geekdom on Facebook. Tweet us at Gluttonous Geeks. Write some comments. I think I got all... Oh, one more question. Cool. So, we have Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart, Order of Merlin, 3rd class, honorary member of the Dark Defense, and answer down below if you remember his last thing that he liked to add to his name. But he's not trying to talk about that. Nick James, Gluttons for Geekdom Live. Gonna do the thing again. Knox.